Me and Nelly were dating. Irv was salty. Irv would not let me come to the studio to record. Irv was telling everyone not to record with me. You want to be with Nelly? Go sign a dirty auntie. We don't want you. Why do I want to stay in that situation? How can I stay in that situation?
You preaching to more than the choir here. I know he was spinning the block.
That nigga happy. She happy. Don't you worry about
it. He wasn't
you
happy.
You on your last motherfucking train, and me too. It's cool to spin the block.
Okay, babe. Hello. I had how are you two doing tonight?
I'm cooling.
You cool? Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
How
glad
you
you're
doing?
cool. I'm doing okay. I was just trying to convince someone to do something, but you know, they wanted to stand on business. So I'm gonna allow it tonight, you know. I will.
I'll allow it.
Oh, you know what? Not tonight, okay? Not tonight. Anyway, y'all, okay. Okay, backlog conversations. All right. So welcome to Vic and Lola. I am Lola, and
Vic in the building. Victim of love. See what love did to you, fellas? Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, you know what? No.
Unless it makes sense. Now, see if it makes sense, then try it. Okay.
You know what? Don't be saying that.
Turn your stomach, spit it out. All right.
Don't say that. Well, okay. So I wanted to give you a scenario that happened in reference to when someone feels that they have options versus the value of risk. Now, there was a story on Instagram in reference to Nelly and Ashanti and his ex. Okay. And, you know, there was this conversation about their ex saying, or his ex saying that, you know, she broke up with him because they just grew apart. Right. And so there was a comment right underneath of that that said, you know, no, he has always had options. He still has options. You shouldn't have took time away from the relationship thinking that he didn't have options. And so
you say take time away from the relationship. What do you mean? Did they break up for a period of
time? They broke up, but they broke up off the cuff of them on a break. So they said, hey, let's give each other some time and then we'll come back together. However, in the midst of giving each other time, they kind of just fell all the way apart and they never came back together. So a lot of people responded to me on that thread, and they weren't being nice to me. They were trumping me, as I call it.
Because
I said, quote, he got married because he got the chick he'd been stringing along and got pregnant, knowing the only thing waiting on him is a bill and child support outside of Ashanti. He didn't do better. He caught the last train leaving. Let's be clear. That's what I say.
Hey, man, look, let me tell you something. Your mouth sometime.
Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't lie, and I wasn't being sarcastic.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. The truth is the most dangerous thing on earth. Not a lie, the truth. The truth will get your ass murdered just because you said it in the wrong fashion. You understand? It's like a bomb is to be handled with care. You can't just roughly pass it off to the next person and say, hot potato, here's the truth. Throw it in your lap. You know, it's offensive at times, depending on its presentation. You want your steak on a plate or a garbage can lid. Still steak, right? All right. So what I'm saying is, you said that I think that the incendiary part is the fact that you said he got the chick pregnant as if this was some shotgun wedding type of shit. Like, oh, well, since you pregnant, we might as well. Ashanti ain't get pregnant off a rip, first of all. Second of all, he didn't bump into Ashanti until they ran into each other on that Versus. And he seen her on stage for like the first time in however many years. And they went and exchanged hugs and pleasantries. And he hugged her like he never wanted to let her go. That is what happened. That's what rekindled the shit. She might have thought he ain't think about her no more, because they did have something initially when they used to work together. But if you remember, Ashanti wasn't with Nelly. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't her label. She's an industry girl. She had 1,000 options other than Nelly that she could have just tied on to. And she don't need none of them niggas' money. Why don't you reread your statement and allow me to react?
I said, quote, he got married because he got the chick he'd been stringing along pregnant, knowing the only thing waiting on him is a bill and child support outside of Ashanti. He didn't do better. He caught the last train leaving. Let's be clear. Mm-hmm.
First of all, Ashanti was not the last train leaving. Mm-hmm. Nelly has a pocketbook, health. He also has social status. He's very much so still relevant. There is a lot of industry women who don't need his money who would be very interested in dating Nelly. So at the end of the day, if he chose to just say, I don't want to be a player no more, he absolutely could. And I believe that he would have a pretty good, vast selections of options. There's a lot of women that are from, our generation that are still single, available, and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Who just ain't ran into the right type. And I have no idea what it's like to be a female celebrity trying to date. That seems to be a very weird dynamic. You know what I mean? I can only imagine how that is when a regular, everyday, high-powered woman who just works a job is going to have a hard time just because of the dynamics, of the economics. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I think they both came up. The only reason that Nelly bumped into Ashanti because they hadn't spoken to each other for quite some time. They are not on the same music label. The fact of the matter is they ran into each other on a Versus. They met up with each other on stage at a reunion concert. And she walked from her side and he walked from his side. And they hugged. And he wouldn't let her go. Got to do with it. You got the Bloc on too, right? What you waiting for? Because he remembered. He remembered.
He remembered what?
What he felt when he was with her. What he felt that they had from back then. And the fact that he was available made it reasonable for him to show her that much affection in public. He wasn't contractually or obligatorily committed to some off-screen woman that would keep him from showing his true affection. And I think the public display of affection was genuine, and it made Ashanti feel some type of way. And she remembered. And I think it was very organic what happened between them. It wasn't like, oh, well, shit, you want to get coffee later? Oh, you remember old times? Oh, well, we is getting older. It ain't that shit. They had some real shit going on. So basically, what I'm saying is that Ashanti and Nelly are star-crossed lovers, right? And though my days are cold without you, hurting while I'm with you, and though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running. She's talking about him, talking about no other nigga. So I think perhaps in his younger days, he may not have treated her to the standard that she required or deserved. Maybe she didn't deserve it at the time. Maybe they were, not well timed in that younger days. But you ever have beef with somebody and you didn't speak to them for the longest time, but y'all was good friends, but y'all ended on some rah-rah shit, and then you've been mad, but it's been so long that it's just, damn, I just realized how much I miss you. Damn, I just remember all the good times. And I think when they met on that stage and they hugged, and the fact that he just wouldn't let her go. Like, you can insert the clip here of them meeting on that stage. He held her for at least 60 seconds to the point where it's almost awkward. And I don't think that was you my last train out the station. I'm tired of these little, fast ass, I don't know what they're here for type of girls. Or I got you pregnant, so I might as well log it in. Or I'm scared to get some other girl pregnant out here because she might just be child support trapping me. Nelly can afford a baby and the child support. Nah, that's not what's stopping him. So can you say the very last line of your statement? The last few words.
I said he didn't do better. He caught the last train leaving. Let's be clear.
Ashanti is top shelf. It's like, what's that, 1942? You know what I'm saying? Like some King Louis Hennessy. Like, that's that $300 glass shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I don't think he took no concessions. He didn't settle.
I don't think you're thinking about this from in any realistic perspective. Because just like 50 Cent can't afford a baby before it comes. But you see how miserable his life is. Nobody wants that. Nobody's gonna trade in anything that they have for what he got, no matter how much money he got. I'm not saying nobody will want his money, but the lifestyle he lives as it pertains to his children, nobody wants that. We have a whole community in crisis over the exact situation he's in. Nobody's trying to be in his circumstance. Not at all. That is not it. But that is what is waiting on any man, no matter how much money you have, when you screw up what you were supposed to cherish. You do not get rewarded in this life when you fuck up. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So going back to Nelly. Now, first of all, when they first met in 2003. That's when they officially met, like in person. Okay. From 2003 to 2013, it's 10 years. People were rumoring that they were dating, but there was no official anything from him or her. Nothing. Okay, nothing. However, we know that they were involved in some way because, as you said, all these songs she making is for him, because we know from 2014, or let's say 13, to 2021, he was in a committed relationship with another female. And the difference I want to draw here is, for 7 years, he was in a public relationship with a chick that he hadn't known as long as he known Ashanti. For 7 years, he didn't mind people knowing that, hey, this is the chick I'm just going out on dates with. And we just kicking it. And now we're kicking it a little more. And now we're kind of serious. And even though we're not married, like, I'm committed. He wanted people to know about that relationship versus the relationship, whatever relationship he had with Ashanti. He didn't feel the need to make that public. That was not something that he wanted to have publicized, even if it was only a hand touch. That's not something he wanted out there. Now, where I come from, men that want to deal with you in private, okay, but don't want to deal with you in public, and as soon as y'all have a little argument and fall out, the next day you see him with a new bitch and he all public with her, we know what that is when it comes to the nature of men. Men will sleep with you, lay down with you, bring their problems to you, but they don't necessarily have to want to be with you because they're pouring into you in that way. Because the minute they find a chick they really want to be with, they'll just go publicly be with her. You'll still be in the dark. You see, like that happens every day. So this is literally what happened with Ashanti. Nelly wasn't trying to see Ashanti for almost over 20 years. Now we in 2025, we just started. So it's been about 4 years since he broke up with the other chick. Okay. Now from 2021 to 2023, this is when him and her gets pregnant and married within 24 months, roughly, let's say 20 months of him breaking up with another chick.
I was like, yo, you know what? Let's just knock this out because we're going to be doing so much and everything's moving so fast. And I didn't want to, I didn't want her to be, a baby mama.
Nelly and Ashanti are happily married with the baby after spinning the block. And Nelly kept it real when he shared how he decided they should get married.
Ashanti is crazy.
Why?
Ain't no way in hell I would have married him.
Why?
Do you love me?
Absolutely.
Well, he didn't say about love. He married her because he did not want to be a baby mama.
If she didn't feel love, she wouldn't have said yes. Trust me, Ashanti.
She didn't want to be a baby mama too.
Ashanti
That's probably why.
don't play them games. No, that's not why.
She
They
played
love
games when
each
he
other.
left
It was
for
an
Miss
umbrella
Jackson.
state. What if you were one of Nelly's other baby mamas? How would that make you feel?
Thank you. That's a dirty feeling.
This is what I mean by he didn't get married because he realized, oh, this is the one for me. Let's be clear about something. Dude is 50 years old. All right. He is not the creme de la creme. I don't care what you say. I'm a female. All right. The only thing happening for him right now is his money and clout. And let me tell you something. From what I've learned about men, they don't like when chicks come around them for money and clout. Not no chick they actually trying to wife up. Even 50 will pay you for the baby and keep it moving, but he ain't trying to wife you up knowing you a 304 that's trying to take him for his money, even if he can afford it. He ain't trying to do that shit. And nobody else is either, especially Nelly. Don't get it twisted. He has options. Sure. He can opt to keep meeting chicks, and then he turned 50, then 55, and then 60 roll up, and then you don't got clout no more, and then nobody wants you, then your money running dry. Like he got options to keep going in circles like he been going the last 50 years. But what I told you is no matter how many options you think you got, all you really have is a bunch of risk. That's all you really have. You don't have a bunch of options. Options would be, I got 10 girls that all genuinely love me, that all will genuinely look out for me and put my best interests above their own, and they not here because of my money or my clout or my celebrity or none of that. I got 10 chicks I can pick from that actually love me. That's not what none of these motherfuckers have. So he don't have a bunch of options. He don't. The thing is, I believe that him and her had a genuine connection when they were young, but he wasn't fucking with her, period. He wanted to fuck on her, and he still wanted to see what he had out there. And guess what he met? An option. He wasted 7 years of his life. You would think somebody like him wouldn't be up for wasting any time given what he's been through. But he did that because he really wasn't fucking with Ashanti. Now, let me say this. I think that holding her was him spinning the block because he realized, I know she still liked me. And man, I was unhappy like a motherfucker in that last relationship. And I don't got it. I'm old. I don't feel like going out no more. I'm just chilling. I don't feel like being a singer no more. I just want to retire. And I mean, I don't feel like testing the waters with these bitches. I mean, at least I know she actually liked me. So that was him spinning the block. Now, the problem with her is, unlike what you said, she got options. You out your mind. She was 43 when that happened. She's 45 now. I'm going to insert a picture of what she actually looked like, not the filtered ones, what she actually looked like. Like she looked her age. So the thing is, she didn't have a bunch of options. And just because there's men in the industry that are there, that don't mean they're interested in her. And just to be clear, she has a perpetual habit, right, of being seen with men, but not actually being claimed by men. I can count maybe 5 men that she been seen with, but she ain't been claimed by nobody. Okay? She hasn't made it past the 3-month mark with anybody. And nobody claims her publicly. Nobody. So you might say, well, what's wrong with Ashanti? That nobody's claiming her. I don't know. But I know when a bunch of men have access to you and none of them want you, I mean, it's cause for the pause. So, you know, people were upset with me saying, well, how do you know that? I don't know these people. But what I know is the human formula, the way the human mind is wired, it doesn't usually break its wiring. Men are wired to fuck around on women that they don't take seriously. And when they find a chick they want to take seriously, they take off with her because men are territorial. That is a human condition. Men are highly territorial. They don't want other men around a chick that they done claimed. He don't mind anybody around Ashanti. Him. Now, when it comes to her, I think the train had left for her, because if you just now getting claimed at 40-something years old and we can't say that you've been claimed by nobody in your life, man, listen, the train had left. He just spent, like I said, he spent the block and got with her. And so I'm glad that they're together. They know each other. They've known each other for a minute. But I'm not about to sit and act like I don't see what I see. I see a nigga that spent the block hoping that somebody was still standing there that knew him. And it just so happened to be her because nobody picked her ass up. No, what say you? Men don't like doing that? A change.
So let me tell you something, right? I was gonna let you cook uninterrupted. I ain't putting no seasoning in your dish. I'll let you do what you do, okay? How old do you think Nelly is?
Right now he's about 51. At the time he was 49.
He's 50 years old. How old do you think Ashanti is right now?
She is 45. Yeah, she was 43
She's
at the
44.
time. 44, 45 now.
She's 44. He's 50. She's 44. It's not this giant age gap, right? And I don't know if you're ashamed to say it, but how old do you think you are?
I'm 43.
Okay, so you and Ashanti like graduated like within a year of each other, right? Okay, so like let's not run the you too old game. Measure out what you can be measured in.
Who said she was too old?
Do you hear what I say?
No.
Measure out what you can be measured in.
Correct. When you're 22, you're aging. But when you're 22, right, and aging, that's the time for you to be picking and choosing and having babies. That is
You
the
sound
time.
like red pill niggas or something.
Hold on. No, that's scientific. When you're 44 years old, right, acting as if you're 16, out here still trying to get chosen and dating around like you're a teenager, this is what causes upset in the dating market. However,
Trying to find a mate?
No,
acting like
I didn't say that there's anything wrong with trying to find a mate. I didn't say that. You gotta take what I said for what I said, not for what I didn't say. Her dating is nothing wrong with that. But let's be clear about something. Her dating and just now getting married and never having children or a relationship before the age of 44 is highly questionable and does not mean that she was highly sought after as a woman in her life. That's not what that means.
Hang on a second. Let me speak for the men in the room. Almost every nigga I know
wanna fuck her.
Had a little Kim, a Trina, Ashanti picture somewhere in their repertoire.
They want to fuck.
Excuse you for a moment. Let me put you on the game.
They want to.
Because I'm pretty sure you didn't have these posters all around your fucking room.
Yeah, I didn't want to fuck.
So okay. So the whole point is, I said want it. If you want somebody, I'm pretty sure you want to fuck them too. So the bottom line is this. I don't like the demonization of saying because you want to fuck someone, you narrow narrow a person's intentions to solely want to fuck that person.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I can two things can be true. I can want to fuck you, and I can also want to be with you. I can also want to have your baby. I want a family with you, and all of this shit. I want to build with you. I want a future with you. There's plenty of niggas who wanted Alicia Keys or Erykah Badu or Nia Long, and they didn't just want to fuck them. But the reality is, just because someone creates the fantasy of someone, the fantasy isn't limited to, and I think sometimes women would like to think men are all primal. Our emotions come from our primalness, that territorialness, that, oh, yeah, I want to fuck her. But yeah, I want to fuck her. And yeah, I want to come inside her. Why you want to come inside her? Because I want to mark this territory. I want to put a baby in it so no other nigga wants her. I want her off the market. I want to stake my claim. So at the end of the day, it's not just, oh, I want to fuck on her and pass her on to the next nigga. Most of the time, that's not what it is. It's some niggas that just, that's their energy. They just want to, but that's a teenage boy type of energy, which is, I got to see how many bitches I can fuck, how many quality bitches I can fuck, how many pretty dime piece bitches I can fuck. If you done fuck more than a handful of dime piece bitches, you understand a dime a fucking dozen. Like, it's not like, oh, well, because this bitch is just as pretty or prettier than the last bitch that I'm going to feel any more of a connection with her. Her pussy don't feel no better than the last one. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe, just maybe, you find someone that's your sexual compatibility mate. They call it your key fit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You find somebody like that who you share something physical with, like y'all are perfectly matched in your desire for each other, or you're perfectly matched in your communication style, or your humor, or the things you like to do. If you find your perfect match in a specific area, then it's more likely for you to want to hang on to that person. But there's an interview process. There's a feeling out process. But what draws men is their primal nature to want to fuck something. But that don't mean that's where it ends. So at the end of the day, when you're talking about Nelly not claiming her publicly, the fact of the matter is that I didn't just meet you, but to go public is a joint venture. It takes two people to say, do you want to be scrutinized by the media? Do you want them in our business? Now, if I take you around my family and my friends where there are no cameras, and I say, oh yeah, this is my friend, and I don't call you my lady, I don't call you my fiance, I don't call you my wife, now you can say, that nigga ain't claiming me. But if we show up somewhere together in public, that's about as claiming as you gonna get. I ain't running off the camera. I ain't dropping your hand when the camera turn. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got some shit like that going on, like, hey, we coming in through separate entrances, you know what I'm saying? We leaving through separate entrances and then meeting up, then that's some old sneaky link shit. That's when you say a nigga ain't claiming you. But just because I don't make our business public, that doesn't mean that that was all my idea, or that wasn't even your idea to not make it public. That may be a joint idea that says, hey, for the sake of our business relationship, for the sake of the fact that you're a sex symbol and that's how you sell records because women want you and they think they got a chance, the fact that men want you and they think they got a chance, that's better for business. Our publicists may have told us individually, hey, I'm cool with y'all having a personal relationship, but by no means make it public, or you're in conflict of interest of our business dealings. You don't know what could have been creating the dynamic of them not claiming each other. The woman that Nelly was with was not a celebrity. And if anything, the 7 years that he spent away from Ashanti with another woman allowed him to appreciate what she brought to the table. And I'm sure she did quite a bit of maturing during that process, as well as him.
Right.
So sometimes, like I say, the problem in a relationship isn't the people. Sometimes it's the timing. So it depends on where you are in your life, what you're going through personally, and your maturity level. So whatever your desires may be, may even change. The things that I desired in my early 20s changed when I was in my 30s, and now have changed again when I'm hitting 40. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always sexually attracted to women who do domestic work. That wasn't on the list of criteria. But now it is. Now I am physically attracted to a woman doing domestic work. So what I'm saying is that when you allow somebody to evolve like that, and you allow them the space to have that absence that makes the heart grow fonder, what nobody likes is a bunch of change. And once you decide that, hey, this relationship of 7 years, trust me, it didn't have to go 7 years. That means he was fighting for his relationship at some point. And guess what? He and her decided at some point, this ain't gonna work, and I'm tapping out.
No, stop. Let me stop you right there before you continue on, because I'll have to auto correct you. He did not break up with her. She broke up with him.
So what? The fact of the matter is, when two people split, there's always somebody who want out more than the other one. That's neither here nor there. Just like when two people get together, there's somebody who want in more than the other one, even though they might both want in or they might both want out. There are degrees to that thing. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that regardless of why they separated, trust me, by the time it's visible to the public that things are over, it's been over for a long time inside the house. And what men do, and I guess women too, is compare. They compare like, damn, my last girl didn't do this. Damn, my last girl wouldn't have reacted like that. Damn, I might have made a mistake by not continuing to fuck with old girl. I'm gonna work this out or work through this or stay in this shit, but it don't stop you from mentally reminiscing over what you lost, what you missed out on, the one that you let get by, the one that you let get away. So sometimes when it's time to open a new relationship, or at least you become available for one, and you're single out here and you don't feel like just running the gambit of having a whole bunch of new people in your face, not knowing their intentions, not knowing their secret desires or their secret quirks and things of that nature. A lot of time people do go back in the Rolodex. They do go back to people they broke up with. So the fact that it's not accustomed to people who are aging out of the game. There's plenty of young people who do that. They double back on old relationships. You're right. He did spin the block, but because he thought he dropped something, he thought he left something. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Men do it, women do it, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you was some grimy ass nigga to leave it. It just means that, hey, I didn't appreciate what I had then, and now I do. Now I can see the application of where it's good or where it would have been good and how I can fix it.
So you preaching to more than the choir here. I know he was spinning the block. I know that. But see, what you may not be aware of is when he was asked, how did her and Nelly get back like together like this last time? He made it, the first thing he said is, oh, I wasn't looking for this relationship. He wanted everyone to know, oh no, I wasn't like I got out my relationship and I was missing her. That's not what happened. He specifically said that in an interview, specifically. Now, just so you know, for context, the last time him and her, they have never been in a relationship officially. However, the last thing around 2013, him and her had a problem. And it was rumored that she wanted him to publicly claim her, but he didn't. and he didn't want to be in a relationship, and so she kind of felt like betrayed, and for years they wasn't on good terms. I can understand why she upset. We've been off and on for 10 years, and now that I want to make it official or go forward, you don't. So him and her broke up because he didn't want to do some shit with her. Him and the new girl didn't break up because he didn't want it to work with the new girl. So that tells you something. Between Ashanti and the new girl, he wanted the relationship with the new girl. Regardless of what it was, he wanted that. He didn't want the relationship with Ashanti. I'm not saying my opinion when I say him and Ashanti broke up because of something he wouldn't do. She made that clear on an interview. He didn't break up with this new girl because of anything that had to do with any infidelity, fighting, anything. They, as she said, she left him simply because there was too much time in between them during tours.
Too much time in between them what?
She said in an interview, because he didn't say anything, but she said that there was too much time in between tours for their relationship, and she didn't want to continue that way. I don't know how much
work got in the way, is what you're saying.
She's saying she had to leave, and then when she had to leave, he's home, and then vice versa. So they were kind of like touring and then getting together occasionally, but for 7 years, like, I don't know. That's what she said. But she made it clear that their parents are friends with each other since they were kids. That's another thing. She said that she's still in his life right now because there's still family events that they both show up to. That's another thing. And then making it clear him and her are not enemies. They did not break up on no I hate you shit. They are still cool. Meanwhile, when he left Ashanti, they were not cool. Everybody knew that. They were not on good terms. So again, when you say men are the way they are, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that apply that to Nelly. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. If you had done what he did and had me all through my 20s and 30s, like in and out with you, and you didn't want to really make nothing with me, and then me and you break up because of something you don't want to do, then the next year you go and marry a new bitch and stay married almost 10 years, and then she leave you ain't trying to leave her, and then you come swinging the block about 12 months later after shorty leave you, hugging on me. We old enough to know what's going on and what's not going on. Now, if she like it, obviously everybody love it, but let's not act like it's not what it's called. It's called spinning the block, and you ain't had no more options. And whatever train she on or he on, it was the last train leaving.
I love the way you look in the morning, shining like the sun through the blinds in my window. I love all of your curves and your looking.